Assalamu alaikum, viewers. Welcome to Tech TV, CxO Global Forum. This is Shazad Sikandar with the Impact Show. We started, I think, a minute late or 2 minutes late. Sorry for the delay. The topic we are going to talk about today is very, very interesting, and I feel that it cannot be covered in one show. The growth mindset. We are not just talking about growth, but we are also talking about the growth mindset. We have with us today a legendary entrepreneur who needs no introduction, but because of the benefit of viewers who have not been introduced to this gentleman before, we have with us Mr. Yousaf Rizvi, who is the CEO of Checkin.pk. Assalamu alaikum, Yousaf. How are you? Thank you for joining the show.
Walaikum salam. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to
Yousaf
be here.
Yeah, Yusuf is a entrepreneur and a travel enthusiast, as well as a musician. And I think I briefly was reviewing his journey, and I realized that the most apt way to describe Yusuf would be कभी अर्श पर कभी फर्श पर कभी उनके दर कभी दर बदर हमें आश की तेरा शुक्रिया हम कहाँ कहाँ से गुजर गए. So Yusuf has not only traveled in different countries and cities, but he has traveled the journey of entrepreneurship. And we're very pleased to have Yousaf on the CxO Global Forum as well as on Tech TV today. And before I take more of your time, I would like Yousaf to briefly talk about Checkin.pk, and then we go on to our discussion, which is on the growth mindset. So over to you, Yousaf. What is Checkin.pk all about?
Thank you very much for the kind introduction. So, Checkin.pk is a travel booking platform. It's an internet booking engine where you can book your flights. And currently, we are planning to add a lot more products to it. So, you'll add insurance. We have already have signed up with Jubilee Insurance. We will add hotels. We will add other travel products. And thankfully, we've been in here in the market now for nearly over 6 years. So we, mashallah, have a good name in the market where people trust us and work with us right now.
Great. So if I want to travel, the conventional method was to go to a travel agent, and then the travel agent basically books your flight on, and the travel agent has to be IATA approved, and they book your flight online. They have a
Correct.
system, an internal software, a system where they book your flight, they give you a physical ticket, or they WhatsApp it to you. So how is Checkin.pk different from that?
So Checkin.pk helps you in making those decisions when you're planning to book your flight. What it does is, if you go to a travel agency, and I have a background in travel, so if you're looking for a flight, for example, from Lahore or Karachi to London or New York or any major destination, you'll go to a travel agent, you'll sit with him, you will ask him to find you a route. What he will do is he'll check on his system, he'll get back to you on a separate flight on a particular date and when he thinks that this is according to your schedule. So what Checkin.pk does is it does the same thing, but it does it in seconds, which would usually take an agency to do maybe in hours, even in some cases. So
Wow.
what we're proud of is the fact that we have a fair cheetah grid. It's our own built-in technology, which gives you a 3 plus minus days idea. We've tapered it according to Pakistan market. So it gives you an idea on fares available. For example, if you're searching for Karachi, London, it would recommend you it will compare all airlines which are flying from Karachi to London, and it will tell you what is the cheapest fare available on every particular date. So now a person cannot make such combinations. At least it would take him hours to look at every airline and then choose the cheapest fare and then display it for you. So we have done that, and it has been people love it. That's how why they use it. A lot of agencies use it. They don't have to now learn this system. They use our platform to book flights for their staff. So we have a lot of agencies who work with us through that platform.
So this is a B2B as well as a B2C platform.
Currently, what we're doing is we as a company are treating B2B and B2C together. They're coming in as the same customer. Either they book through B2B or they book through B2C. What we're planning to do is that, inshallah, if in the process of, we will be building a B2B platform where we will differentiate between people who are agents and who are our customers. So we can work with them differently in both manners. And that is what we are planning to do, because this year has been very tough for the travel industry overall. Last year,
Yes.
we had to face a lot of problem because of airspace closure, especially in north of Pakistan. And because of this, business shrunk drastically. So last year, business came down by nearly 30-35% overall. This year, it's been, I mean, it's down to 10% or 15% from what we did, I think, 2 years ago. And based on that, we foresee that that's why the develop now it has given us an opportunity to sit back, think over our platform, look at things where we can grow on, and march ahead forward.
So I think I have the perfect person today, a person who is an entrepreneur operating in an industry which is shrinking, and we're going to talk about the opposite word, which is growth.
Yeah.
So coming to the topic, Yousaf, what is your point of view? How would you explain growth in a very layman terms, in very basic terms? What is growth to you?
Okay, so growth in every segment. I mean, if you talk about e-commerce, what I would say is growth has primarily growth means, for me, it means the acquisition that you're doing, the number of customers that you're bringing in, and the amount of leads you're generating, and then converting them into sales. So a growth of a company has to be, you have to, if you're looking at a growth of a company, you have to look at a lot of things alongside with it. You can't just say sales is the only driver of growth. So the growth has to come
Thank
in
you
the
for
mindset
saying
of the
that. Can
company.
you please repeat that? Because every entrepreneur, every company, every business feels that sales is the only form of growth.
Yeah,
Revenue is the only form of growth.
yeah,
Please say that
yeah,
again.
yeah. So I feel that you cannot just think on how your sales figures are showing up, because sales figures have a lot of things that you have to consider. What I feel is a growth of you should look at overall growth of the company and what they plan to do for the next coming years, and where they want to move forward. And there you will be able to see, because there's been a lot of discussion everywhere. If you're looking at countries abroad where people have been thinking about growth and never ending growth. I mean, this is, you talk about companies who are saying that we'll keep on growing, but you can't see any profitability coming anytime soon. So there's a paradox where a lot of investors even are thinking, what is enough for growth? How long will we grow? How long will this mindset be that I just want to acquire customers and grow, where I don't see any money coming out, but the overall valuation of the company increases because of the users that it has. So it is something which is, a lot of people agree with it. A lot of people feel that, okay, don't hamper growth by looking at profitability at the moment, but you have to understand which each market you're in. If your company in the US, you have a lot of funding support, and you were planning to grow, you I'm sure you have a lot of funds who are supporting you, and they're providing you that back end support, based on which you can grow at that pace. If you're talking about some country, for example, like Pakistan, where investors are have a hindrance of coming into the market and looking at opportunities, they are the people who, and usually they're being run by professionals and then state-owned companies. So primarily they were state-owned companies. They've gotten educated, and they now have young children, or they're people who've gone up and now they want to become venture capitalists. So these companies still obviously don't only look at growth; they look at profitability as well. So it's a mix that you have to do, because of being in a country where raising funding is much more difficult than you looking at other countries in the US. I think it is very important to look at growth and profitability side by side.
Okay, so this is growth from an organization perspective. Very aptly said that growth and profitability are interlinked, and yet they can be looked at
Yeah,
separately, because you can
yeah,
have a revenue that's growing, and if the cost is being matched with the revenue, then probably your profitability वहीं की वहीं खड़ी रहेगी, या probably
correct,
नीचे भी आ जाएगी. So there
correct.
can be diseconomies of scale also as a reason for
Yeah,
growth.
yeah,
And another obvious question, how do you look at, in fact, I'll give you an example. I was consulting for an organization, and
yeah.
all they did was that they kept on opening branches, and they were very happy that हमारी बड़ी growth हो रही है जी. पहले
Mhm.
हम 3 थे, फिर हम 13 हुए, फिर हम 30 हो गए, and so we're growing. And but our profitability is going down, and in fact, most of
Yeah,
the units that we are opening up are in a loss.
mhm.
So I told them
Yeah,
that you're not growing, you're expanding. and
correct.
and then we came to an entire philosophy. So how would you look at growth versus expansion?
So again, my point is exactly the same. If you're talking about a brick and mortar business, it would be completely different. If you're talking about a company which is an online company, what we would like to do is exactly we would like to acquire more customers, but on the other hand, we would like to make sure that we keep our cost in check. Because if you're trying to grow, what are you trying to grow? You have to be focused on what are you planning to grow. If you're planning to grow a business, you would require a lot of funding, because in some cases you'll have to compromise your profitability just because you're requiring that growth. So there's a thin line where you have to just sit back and think, okay, should I go for growth by compromising this, or should I look at other ways of where I'm going to acquire that growth? So I think it's very, very important while you're talking about expanding your organization. If, for example, if some company like us, we start expanding into units, making setting up units with costs or fixed cost increasing, obviously it will create a lot of problem for us. So we have to be very realistic on how we can expand ourselves location wise, if you talk about locations across the country. But if you're talking about growth, then I would rather focus on my growth online, and I'd like to acquire more customers, educate my customers, build an interaction with them, and promote them, ask them to come and book with us, increasing my product line where margins are slightly better than what we're offering right now, and that would overall increase growth and profitability for the company.
So growth is a function. Eventually, growth basically then means, from what you're saying, is a conversion,
Yeah,
regardless of the platform. So if I have a service, then I need to look at multiple platforms so that I can increase my customer base, my consumer base, or even I can have the same product line on different platforms, or I can have the same platform and different product lines. So what would you recommend, be it online or offline? What would you recommend? What is more positive for growth? कि आप एक प्रोडक्ट लाइन लेके मल्टीपल प्लेटफॉर्म्स पे डालें, या आप एक प्लेटफॉर्म के ऊपर मल्टीपल प्रोडक्ट लाइंस चलाएं?
you see, you have to see, again, I would say you have to make a decision on this. I would be taking a decision based on two things. Number one, is my one product that I'm only focusing on, does it have the profitability for me to manage my cost because of the growth that I'm trying to get out of it? If the margins are thin, then I would definitely like to add other products. I'll give you an example. If you go to even a restaurant, they would be serving you something. If people just come in and buy maybe just a pizza, or just buy something, or just buy a dish and leave, the margins would not be that much. They want people to order that Coke, they want people to order other things. Or if you're going to a store and you buy a $1 promotion, buy a $5 t-shirt, they don't want people to buy a $5 t-shirt. They're just making those customers walk in and buy that $3 or $1 or a 700 rupees ki t-shirt, so that they end up buying more, and then they say, okay, I like this pants where it's not on promotion. And that's why the whole market of adding promotions is, because you want that growth, you want that spending of that customer. Same as on Checkin.pk, I would like customer to have that trust of working with us, and then if we offer them more products like we're planning to offer, they'll have the trust to buy from us. But in the end, obviously, with competition coming up, you'll have to attract customers by some way possible. So I think growth you have to look at it in this way. If I want to offer a bigger product line, if my single product has such a good margins that if I run it and on different platform, market it well, and it covers this particular need, it's absolutely fine. You can work with one. But if you're working with a product which has low margins, then you will have to consider other products to come in to meet that margin, to meet the operational cost. And you like to use every platform possible to cover that cost that there's an operational cost for it.
Agreed. From what I know, I'm not from your industry, but from what I know about the travel business, that this is a business which has very low margins. So value added services. So I mean, if I were to speak as a layman, then probably the lowest margin is in the ticket sales, and so the value added services like the hotel bookings and the visa services, travel insurance, and all the allied services around the travel is basically what contributes to the growth of the company, as well as to the customer satisfaction. Because the ticket, other than price, from A to B. So in this case, your core product is not contributing to the growth. So here the core product is your 700 rupees ki t-shirt, but it's the value added services. So are you thinking of increasing the platforms? I mean, is there an app that is available?
Definitely. Definitely. As exactly that is exactly what is on our plan. We feel that we've built a customer base who buy from us every day.
Hmm.
So God has been kind that we have been able to build a relationship with our agents and users who trust us. They transfer their funds to us, and they know we get delivered them a product which they can trust, they can buy. So what we're focusing on right now, as you mentioned, we're trying to increase our product offering in the current platform, which is flights, and we have already signed up with a lot of other companies and their products that we would like to offer our existing customer base. We would like to offer travel insurance. We've already have signed up with Jubilee. We plan to sign up with other companies as well. Same, and then maybe even offer other insurance products alongside with our product, because we already have that trust that the customer has on us right now. And God has been kind that we have been growing every year. So now we want to focus is to add more products. We want to add hotels. We've already signed up with a company in Pakistan called which has on its panel around 100 domestic, over a few hundred domestic hotels. So you'll be able to come on Checkin.pk, book a domestic hotel real time. So when you're going to Sabat, you don't have to worry about a hotel because you know that
Wow.
you can buy a hotel if it's available there immediately, real
That's the
time.
challenge in urban
Um,
areas in season.
Correct. So and international hotel side by side. So these are the products that we are working on right now. We are raising funds as we speak. We're talking to investors to raise that money because of the base that we've already built, the relationship that we've already built, and we would like to grow further on it. So and I'm very hopeful that what we have lined up, we'll see a brand new Checkin.pk coming up by January next year.
Great. We'll be looking forward to it. In fact, I'm planning a international travel next month. I was speaking to somebody just before the show.
Yeah.
Now I found the right person, thanks to this great
Definitely.
forum.
Sure.
Okay, moving on to the next point. We talked about growth and expansion. We talked about organizations, profitability. I would now like to slightly move on to the human level.
Hmm.
And because all organizations, regardless of the service that they offer or the product that they offer, are human centric.
Yeah.
And HR being the biggest component of any contribution, even with AI, a lot of tech people, and this is tech TV, that's machine learning, but that's also learning from the humans. So
Yeah.
that machine learning also comes in from the humans. So the human element can never be eliminated. So we need to
Yeah.
keep that into consideration in every
Yeah.
aspect of our business. Now, I
Correct.
would put something for debate, and that thing I'm going to throw right now is that our individuals in general are human beings growth oriented.
I think they are. It's a human instinct. Everybody who has that, who want everybody. If you're looking at growth again, as I mentioned, so growth has a different meaning to it for everybody. Some people would think that growth in themselves is being a better person, that they used to do something and now they don't, so they have improved themselves overall. Growth in terms of a student is that he's now has more knowledge on a particular subject which he never had. During this pandemic, I think it's been awesome where a lot of people have been reading a lot of things. They've had that time which they never used to have. So they've realized there are a couple of things that they never could do before. Now they're doing it. So I think growth in terms of a human is what kind of learning are you doing, and who are the people that you're in touch with? What kind of reading are you doing? What kind of television are you watching? Wasting your time with something like, okay, I watch it as well, Netflix all the time, but there are particular times where you want to just talk to somebody who's a bit more smarter than you, rather than you can learn from him something. Like for example, I give you an idea. So I love buying stocks. It's something, some of my passion which I've been continuing since a while. So I'm one of the shareholders of a company which has an AGM today. So a very close friend of mine, I asked him to buy those shares alongside with me. So it was nothing that because I thought the company was a good product, and I advised him to buy shares in that company, and it was his first purchase ever. So today I called him. I said, "It is an AGM of the meeting. Let's go together. Let's go. I mean, It's the first company that you bought shares in. So let's just go and attend the AGM."
Right.
So I took him, and I said, "Ke, matlab, what do you have to lose? We just go and we'll just go as shareholders. We can attend the meeting and we'll listen to people's questions. Maybe we'll have some fun. We'll look at people what they're saying, and we'll just come back. On the way back, we'll have lunch. So it's like an incentive. Okay, so we have a half day off for ourselves. So we went there, we attended the event. It was great. We found a lot about the company, what they're planning to do next year, where their margins are coming in. So it's a great learning experience for him. I mean, I've been to other AGMs as already as well, but for him it was very interesting. So he came back and he said, Yousaf, I really enjoyed it. I think next time when we are planning to do something, and I'm sure he's going to invest now more in other companies as well. But he said to me, sorry?
And hopefully not because of the lunch, but because of the learnings.
No, lunch was an incentive for him that you get out of your bed and just come over. We'll go and attend the AGM because you're a
A very
shareholder, so it's your right. You can do it, but the meaning was to learn to improve yourself. If you're not willing to improve yourself, then what kind of growth are you looking at? I mean, growth in size. I think that you already do it when you're on vacation. So I think you should not look at growth in terms of that. In terms of the food intake that you're doing, I think it's terms of how what kind of learning you're doing. What kind of are you learning from other people's experiences, and you kind of understand. So it's I think everybody should be intellectually hungry also. If like any other hunger, you should be intellectually hungry. You would like to learn from people who have better experiences than you, who have more learning, who have experience in a particular field that you like to get more knowledge of. And people themselves should be open to share that. If the more you share, and it's in our religion, it's in our culture, it's sort of not in our culture to share, but it's in a religion to share. But the more you share, people get to learn more, and you just get to hear different point of views. I think that is what is amazing. So for him, my friend of mine, he it was a great experience for him. So he really enjoyed it, and he said, "I would definitely go in other AGMs as well. Let's see what kind of learning that you do." So that's what I'm
Okay.
saying. I think it's you have to think like that.
A very good narration of a real life event, but I allow me to be the devil's advocate here.
Yeah,
And
sure.
you had to, okay, for that learning to happen, you had to actually pull him out of the comfort zone and give him
Correct.
an incentive. So two
Yeah.
key factors: comfort zone and killing complacency, and then giving an incentive. So,
Correct.
but like you said, and aptly said so, that learning is something that is ongoing till the
Correct.
time that we are alive. It's also part of
Correct.
our religion. If not culture, then it definitely is part of our religion. But
Yeah.
having said that, I don't see a lot of individuals, corporate, non-corporate, who have the intellectual appetite. Intellectual to chhode, learning appetite bhi nahi hai. Because the kind of people that I interact with in my business and in networking, I find people, माजरत के साथ, most of the people are अकले कुल और
Hmm.
मुझे सब कुछ पता है. तो जब मुझे सब कुछ
बिल्कुल.
पता है,
I
तो
agree.
सीखना, और अगर मैंने कुछ सीखना ही नहीं है और मुझे सारा कुछ पता है, तो मैं आई एम इन माय कंफर्ट जोन, मैं बिल्कुल ठीक हूँ, सब कुछ ठीक ठाक है. अब जब ये माइंडसेट है, एंड आई एम सॉरी टू से मोर देन हाफ ऑफ द पॉपुलेशन दैट आई हैव इंटरैक्टेड विद हैज दैट माइंडसेट, तो फिर आप
Correct.
ग्रोथ कैसे करेंगे और ग्रोथ बेचेंगे कैसे? सो
अब you're absolutely correct. ये जिस तरह आप कह रहे हैं कि ये बिल्कुल एक बहुत बड़ा मतलब डिलेमा है. बट इसके लिए मैं एक मजेदार बात बताता हूँ. I think the only thing what you can do is to just keep quiet. When you're sitting with some people, I think you should just keep quiet. If you want to listen to yourself, तो मतलब मैं किसी को बोलता हूँ यार कि अगर तुमने अपनी ही बात बोलनी है और तुमने अपनी ही सुननी है, तो तुम शीशे के सामने खड़े होकर बात कर लो. तुम अपने आप से ही बात करते रहना. तुमने अगर दूसरों की नहीं सुननी और अपनी ही सुनाई जानी है, तो फिर आप सीखने क्या आए थे? सो मेरा इसमें यही कॉन्सेप्ट है कि when people are, if you are, first of all you have to find people who are interesting, मतलब who you want to, you see, if you want to improve yourself, you want people who are better than you. Agar if I have a weakness in something, for example, I don't know maths, example, if I don't know maths and I would like to learn maths, I'd like to sit with somebody who understands math much better than me. If I'm
ऑफ
just talking about बिल्कुल lay terms में. लेकिन अगर if somebody who's not successful and I see that वो ऐसी फील्ड में जो शायद उसके अब्बू ने उसे पुश करके डाल दिया था और वो उससे नहीं निकलना, मतलब उसमें नहीं उसको एंजॉय करता, लेकिन वो उसका पार्ट बन चुका है, तो वो आई डोंट थिंक कि वो उतनी नॉलेज आपसे शेयर कर सकेगा. तो आई थिंक यू शुड फाइंड पीपल हु रियली एंजॉय व्हाट दे डू, एंड व्हेन यू नो दैट दीस गाइज एंजॉय व्हाट दे आर डूइंग, देन यू शुड लर्न फ्रॉम देम. बट अगेन मैं एक और एग्जांपल आपको देता हूँ. जस्ट इन आवर कंपनी ड्यूरिंग दिस टाइम, we were obviously, I would call it as a startup. So we put up an ad. We said we're hiring internees that we like to ask people to join during this time because we have time available. So we're designing everything. So if some students would like to work with us, come on, join us, join the team, and we'll help them. We'll make them learn a lot of new things as well. So it'll be a learning experience. Plus, they'll get a on-job internship, and we'll give them a certificate, a letter of recommendation that they work with us for 3-4 months. Interestingly, half the people applied, half of them joined in, some of them left, half of them stayed in, and they completed the whole course. So what I really congratulated them was on the fact that we were not paying you anything for this. It's unfortunately, yes, we were not paying them anything, but they still wanted to continue because they came to learn. Now, there's a difference between learning and there's a difference between just why should I do it? मुझे क्या फायदा हो रहा है इसमें? Now, when
Hmm.
you go beyond that point कि मेरा क्या फायदा है? जैसे मैंने आपको
Hmm.
अपने दोस्त की एग्जांपल दी, मैंने उससे कहा यार चलते हैं, तुम कुछ सीखोगे तो सही। कहता अच्छा या क्या करेंगे? मैंने कहा भाई तू छोड़, उसके बाद में तू लंच कराऊंगा, तू चल तो सही। तो
एग्जैक्टली, आपने इंसेंटिव दिया ना। हाँ, इंसेंटिव
या
देना पड़ा।
इंसेंटिव देखो, मैंने कहा यार तुम छोड़ इसको, हम चलते हैं। तू, मैंने कहा यार तू शेयर होल्डर है कंपनी का, तुम्हें तो चाहिए कि तुम अटेंड करो। तुम्हें पता
हम्म।
तो होगा तुम कंपनी में जैसे तुमने पैसे लगाए इसकी हालत क्या है। तो
एग्जैक्ट।
he said, हाँ अच्छा चलो मैं आता हूँ। तो फिर हम दोनों मीट। So that's exactly the thing. You have to keep. I think people should start. A lot of people choose jobs because of their family pressure, peer pressure, and they don't know what they really intend to do. I used to do music, so I launched an album in 2009. Yeah, 2009 with ARY. The song did pretty well. If you go online, you will find it. So I was doing music because I loved music. I was not doing it because I wanted to do music as a professionally, but मुझे क्योंकि म्यूजिक अपना एक्सप्रेशन के तौर पे पसंद था, मैं म्यूजिक तब करता था।
हम्म।
2006 में 2009 till 2009 I was doing music. Then I joined, I mean, my business, and then I got busy into the things. But for example, stocks, I've been doing stocks since maybe the crash in 2008 2009. Why? Because I
Wow.
like it. I do it because I enjoy it. I do it for myself.
हम्म।
So people should not just focus on one thing. They should keep on learning. I try to read a lot of books. I try to. YouTube now is one of the best ways of learning. So you get good people, smart people, not just everybody. You get a lot of random people also talking on the internet, but you learn from good people. You listen to their stories. You listen to big investors, entrepreneurs. You listen to their stories. You understand what they did, what kind of sacrifices you have to make, and then you feel that you'll see that things will improve when you're willing to learn.
Okay, so moving forward, complacency again. I'm going to rub this in. How do you kill complacency in a person who has no willingness to learn? This is a
I
tough
think
one.
I think everybody wants to learn. I think everybody wants to learn. It's just what they want to learn. If they want to learn TikTok, they will learn TikTok. If they want to learn how to use Netflix, they will know how to. If they, it is something which really intrigues them, or this is something which excites them. If you're telling somebody who does not want to know anything about engineering and you're forcing him to learn engineering, तो वो नहीं समझेगा, क्योंकि उसका एप्टीट्यूड उस तरफ है ही नहीं। आप उसको
Hmm.
धक्का चला के करा लेंगे, लेकिन उसका जब माइंड उस तरफ जाता ही नहीं है। हाँ, आप उसे क्या कीजिए, यूट्यूब की वीडियो कैसे डाउनलोड करते हैं, तो वो उसको पता होगा, क्योंकि वो उसके उसके माइंडसेट से ज्यादा उसको पता है, उसके अंदर उसका इंटरेस्ट है। तो आई थिंक एवरीबडी, ह्यूमन बीइंग इज एन अमेजिंग अमेजिंग थिंग। मतलब अल्लाह ने एक चीज बनाई है जिसने दुनिया फतह कर ली, मतलब दुनिया की चीजें कर ली, बीमारियां फतह कर ली, मुल्क फतह कर लिए, सिविलाइजेशंस बना दी। मतलब our mind is absolutely amazing, but it's just the direction that we have to give it. You give it a good direction, you give it the support it needs, and you will see it can do wonders. If you give him the nourishment जो उसको नहीं चाहिए, और आप उसको वो फीड करेंगे जो नेगेटिव है, आप उसको वो फीड करेंगे जो, मतलब पॉर्न साइट्स में पाकिस्तान नंबर 1 कंट्रीज में से टॉप में से आना शुरू होगा। If you're feeding your mind with that kind of stuff, so you'll have the problems that we currently face sometimes in Pakistan. So I think it all depends on what you're feeding your mind. So growth in terms of being a better person, if we want to be a better person, we will find ourselves कि हमें क्या चीज इंट्रीग करती है। हम लोग एक्सपेरिमेंट नहीं करना चाहते क्योंकि हमें फेलियर से भी डर लगता है। तू बैठा रहता है, तू टाइम वेस्ट करता रहता है, तुझे तो कुछ आता ही नहीं है। मैं जब आता हूँ तो कंप्यूटर के सामने बैठा होता है। मतलब एक माइंडसेट पेरेंट्स का है, एक माइंडसेट फैमिलीज का है कि जो बच्चा भागता हुआ कुछ करता नजर नहीं आ रहा तो वो कुछ नहीं कर रहा। मतलब या तो वो मतलब है बाहर जॉगिंग करने चला जाए तो शायद वो कुछ कर रहा है, लेकिन एक
Hmm.
माइंडसेट हमारी बिल्ड हो गया कि बच्चा मतलब कुछ नहीं कर रहा, जबकि वो हो सकता है कोई ऑनलाइन बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग चीज पढ़ रहा हो, अपनी नॉलेज बढ़ा रहा हो, वो एआई के बारे में पढ़ रहा हो, वो नेटवर्क टेक्नोलॉजीज के बारे में इंफॉर्मेशन ले रहा हो। हाँ, और हो सकता है कि वो गलत डायरेक्शन की तरफ ऑनलाइन सर्च कर रहा हो। तो मेरा पॉइंट ये नहीं है, मेरा पॉइंट ये है कि यू हैव टू इंट्रीग पीपल। इफ यू फोर्सिंग हिम टू डू समथिंग ही डज नॉट डू, देन ही विल डू थिंग्स दैट ही लाइक्स। इट्स सॉर्ट ऑफ लाइक अ रिवोल्ट। सो यंग जनरेशन के लिए तो खास तौर पे वी हैव टू फोकस ऑन द फैक्ट के we find out what the people are looking for, what are their intention, because I think everybody wants to do good, everybody has good in them. It's the what matters is कि how you bring that out, and हम उसको किस तरह उसको लेके चलते हैं।
But okay, now the problem is when you hire people to work in organizations.
Yeah.
This is a theory that I have seen over time. You hire the kind of people that probably may be a misfit to the vision that you have. So there are two issues. The first one is that you're pursuing growth as an organization, लेकिन आपका growth का vision गलत है, या जो आपका vision है वो आपको growth की trajectory पे डालता ही नहीं है. ये तो पहला problem है. दूसरा problem ये कि जो भी आपने vision set किया है as the leader of the organization, is that communicated to the people, and are the new people being hired in line with the vision? So like when you hire and you, like you said, you're a startup and you hired internees, and then inshallah in the future you're going to expand and hire more people. So how do you find people who have the growth mindset and who are in line with your vision? देखिए, कोई भी ये नहीं कहता कि मैं खुद से ग्रो नहीं करना चाहता, कोई ऑर्गेनाइजेशन नहीं कहती मैं नहीं ग्रो करना चाहता, लेकिन एट द सेम टाइम ना ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस ना ही, जैसे लूजली स्पीकिंग कहते हैं ना कि ये इदारा तो सरकारी तौर पे चल रहा है, यानी कि सरकार में कंफर्ट जोन होता है, कंप्लेसेंसी होती है. सिमिलरली हमारे पास सरकारी किस्म के लोग भी होते हैं जो बड़े कंप्लेसेंट और कंफर्ट जोन में होते हैं, और उनको ये पता होता है कि सुबह उठना है, जाना है, नौकरी करनी है और शाम में वापस घर आ जाना है, पहली तारीख को तनख्वाह आ जानी है, हमने अपने 8 घंटे 9 घंटे पूरे करने हैं, अपना जॉब डन करना है, ग्रोथ स्रोत ये वो, पर्सनल लर्निंग, इंप्रूवमेंट, सेल्फ इंप्रूवमेंट, कंटिन्यूस इंप्रूवमेंट, काइजन, ये सारी फिलॉसफीज है ही नहीं मेरे लिए. मुझे तो अपनी तनख्वाह पूरी की है, मैंने 8 घंटे पूरे करनी है. सो हाउ डू यू चेंज दैट माइंडसेट? बिकॉज ऐसे बहुत सारे लोग हैं who are actually pursuing a job which does not entail growth.
You're absolutely correct. और ये एक बहुत बड़ा प्रॉब्लम है पाकिस्तान का. मैंने कहा ना, क्योंकि हम अपने आप से झूठ बोलते हैं. आई थिंक हम अपने आप से झूठ बोल रहे होते हैं कि हमें पता है कि हम कंट्रीब्यूट को बेनिफिशियल नहीं कर सकते, बट जस्ट बिकॉज ऑफ दैट नीड we are going forward with those jobs that we don't like in a company. So मेरी रिक्वेस्ट, मैं तो लोगों से जब बात करता हूँ and I face that kind of people who just come in और हम कर रहे हैं, हम हो रहा है, जो 1 महीने का काम है उसको 3 महीने खींचना, जो 3 महीने का काम है उसको 6 महीने खींचना. They're not realizing कि अगर वो, यार तुम थोड़ा सा जल्दी कर लो तो कंपनी की ग्रोथ बढ़ जाएगी, कंपनी ज्यादा जल्दी चीजें अपने टारगेट्स अचीव कर सकेगी, और जो जो माइंडसेट सीईओ के दिमाग में है वो इंप्लीमेंट हो जाएगी. आई थिंक दैट इज अ प्रॉब्लम, बट एंड दैट इज अ वेरी बिग प्रॉब्लम फॉर पाकिस्तान मार्केट्स. और इससे फिर लोग कहते हैं कि, मैंने कहा ना, अगर उनका माइंड उस तरफ चला जाता है तो आप ही देखेंगे वो बंदा वही काम 1 महीने हफ्ते में कर देगा जिसके लिए वो 3 महीने लगा रहा था. मगर इट्स जस्ट अबाउट फोकस एंड हाउ यू कीप योर पीपल मोटिवेटेड, and you have to understand. So we face that problem a lot. And खास तौर पे जब हमें प्रॉब्लम कब आनी शुरू हुई, जब हमारा we had raised money from investors, and when they decided to exit the company, and we 100% acquired the company. We now mashallah 100% acquired the company overall. So the employees in the company had a shift in mindset, so they were not sure कि अब क्या होगा, मतलब ये क्या करेंगे,
क्या होने वाला है, हमारी नौकरी का क्या होगा, ये सबसे पहला क्वेश्चन.
बिल्कुल. तो वो कहते हैं जी हमारा क्या बनेगा, हम क्या होगा, बंदे आपकी जिस तरह करेंगे, आप लोग फ्यूचर में क्या करेंगे. ये कोविड का टाइम था तो एवरीबडी वाज वरीड, एंड आई यूज्ड टू टेल देम, आई सेड, मैं जो चीजें तुम लोगों को पहले समझाता था, प्यार मोहब्बत से भी समझाया, डांट की भी समझाया, के बाद समझाया कि यार हमें चीजें कंप्लीट करना बहुत जरूरी है. तुमने कर तो लिया, बट ये तुम्हारा और अल्लाह मियां के दरमियान में मैटर है कि तुमने कितने घंटे लगाए और तुमने कितना टाइम एक्चुअली लगाना चाहिए था और तुमने कैसे मैनेज करके दिया. But you're absolutely correct. That's a big problem. And if Pakistanis, generally overall, मैंने कहा, they are very smart people. We're all Pakistanis, I think. But the mindset they have to keep has to be focused. अगर वो कहीं भी काम करते हैं, अगर वो थोड़ा सा faith रखें अपने आप पे भी, अपने मतलब अपनी नीयत पे, अल्लाह मियां पे faith रखें, अगर वो दिल से काम करें और उनको कोई प्राइमरी प्रॉब्लम कंपनी प्रोवाइड नहीं कर रही, तो जो बेनिफिट्स वो कह रहे हैं उनको भी प्रोवाइड कर रही है, अगर वो नहीं करते तो दैट्स अनफॉर्चुनेट, बिकॉज that's just, I think, not good for anybody. It's not good for being loyal to the, it's dishonesty towards the company, it's just honesty towards your work. And if you're not happy, just resign and leave, allow somebody else. मैं तो लोगों कहता हूँ कई दफा कि यार अगर तुमने नहीं मजा आ रहा तो किस लिए मुझ पे एहसान कर रहे हो, रिजाइन करो और जाओ. We should find people who have this energy, and mashallah we have now added good people, young people who have that energy, who want to do something with their lives, who want to perform and make sure कि, तो I think मेरा ये एक्सपीरियंस होगा कि इवन दो लॉट ऑफ पीपल की ई कॉमर्स की प्लेटफॉर्म्स में टर्नओवर बहुत हाई होता है, बट मेरे ख्याल में एक एनर्जी प्रोवाइड करने के लिए आपको टर्नओवर रखना पड़ता है ज्यादा, because you bring in good people, you learn from them, they want to learn. If you want to hire them and if you feel they have the right energy mix with you, you ask them to continue. If they do not give that energy that you're looking for and they're just spending time just to spend time and doing nothing, I think it's better that they choose an industry maybe they're interested in. Because मैंने again कहा हो सकता है वो travel में उसका interest ना हो मगर उसका video gaming में बहुत interest हो. Maybe he's a great video gamer. I don't know. That's his call. But if he's just joining us because he's looking for a job and the video gaming के अंदर उसको भी job नहीं available हो रही, तो ये उसकी गलती है, उसका कसूर मैं क्यों बर्दाश्त करूँ as a CEO when I have to compromise my growth because of his thinking.
Agreed. This is great stuff, Yousaf, and this can be a never-ending conversation. But due to the shortage of time, two things. I think we learned a lot about growth and your enthusiasm and your perspective. But I think we're very clear on how we can, change the complacent mindset, how we can change people out of the comfort zone. I love the fact that as an entrepreneur, as a leader of a company, you believe that people are basically nice people who have to be channelized. And this is our key learning, that they have to be channelized in what they want to do. Once they are channelized in something that they want to do, they will automatically leave their comfort zone. Once you leave your comfort zone and complacency aapne se khatam ho jati hai, then you stop doing a job, then you're pursuing growth for yourself. मेरा ये मानना है कि जिस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के साथ लेट्स से मैं काम करता हूँ, अगर मैं अपने ग्रो नहीं करूंगा तो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन भी ग्रो नहीं करेगी, और अगर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन नहीं ग्रो करेगी तो मैं नहीं ग्रो करूंगा. And that's not just financial terms. That's all. I mean, like you gave the video gaming example. If you find good people, you may want to get into the video gaming business if you see revenue there, if you see profitability there, and maybe they have a business for themselves. So there is immense opportunity. Thank you very much, Yousaf. But before we part and we end this show, I would like a final question. What would you say? I mean, you are in the e-commerce business and you are a tech person at the same time. How do you feel that the CxO Global Forum has actually helped you, and how does it help in networking people? And what are your views about the CxO Forum?
I think it's. I was introduced to the organization through a friend who I met, and they referred, and then I was.
I hope not.
Sorry?
I hope he didn't give you a lunch incentive.
No. He did not. He just referred that it's a good organization that you should become a part of. Again, as I said, I wanted to become a part of it because I love to learn from good people. I would like to listen to their stories. I like to learn from them, meet with them. If I get a chance to meet people on maybe every week, every Friday or every Saturday with people who I can learn from, I would do that in a heartbeat. That's how I think. Rather than just talking on my own. So that is how somebody I respect, and that person is a very competent person. He recommended this organization. He said, I'm already a part of it, so you should as well. So I said, okay, if it's a good experience and I can learn from people, why not? I would love to learn from people. So my mindset in this case is for my personal growth. I'm being selfish, but that's the way everybody should consider themselves, because if they are growing, then they will be able to channel and manage organizations which will grow. Because my role as a CEO is not, because I don't handle operations that much. My role as a CEO is to decide strategy for the company, where the company is supposed to be headed, where are the numbers that we're going to gain, where the market is, how we're going to get that market, and primarily focus on the avenues that will give us the revenue that we need and the profitability that we need. So and that strategic thinking can be done with people. When I talk to different industries, people in different businesses, I remember I told you as a shareholder, I buy shares and then I attend AGMs, even though that's not my business. Why I attend it is because I want to learn. I want to learn their business. Where do they make their money from? Which margins are high margin products? Where the industry is headed? How can I gain from this market? So that is why if I keep on learning, it helps me make better decisions in my own company, and it helps me. So I think I'm looking forward. I've just joined in, I think maybe a month ago, last month I joined in. So I'm hoping to meet good people, interact with them. If they're based in Lahore, I'm based in Lahore. If I come to Karachi, then I'll had a better chance to meet with you guys in Karachi. But we're based in Lahore, and I've already asked that if there's a Lahore chapter and when they're planning to hold a networking event in Lahore, I'll be glad to meet everybody, and maybe we can at least set up a meeting every month, where we can all meet and share each other's concepts and ideas.
Of course. Yousaf, thank you very much for your time. It has been a great pleasure. And I would say this has been a pure learning experience for people watching this, people who are going to watch it in future, and especially for myself. I'm so glad that I spoke to an entrepreneur who's a pure visionary. It was completely thrilling and a learning experience. Thank you very much. Thank you, Yousaf. Thank you
Okay.
for your
Thank you.
time. It was a pleasure. Thank you. Take care.
Thank you. Take care. Bye bye.
So, viewers, this is all from the Impact Show this evening, and we shall come up with more topics and more people, inshallah, and more interactions, more learning. And I think the key takeout is that for a growth mindset, for humans, for individuals, for organizations, we need to break complacency, channelize people on what they are experts in. And I think then we can instill a growth mindset. And Pakistanis, let me tell you, are the most intelligent, brilliant people. All they need to be done is channelize them in the right direction. Till the next show, stay tuned, stay connected to Tech TV and CxO Global Forum. Thank you. Allah Hafiz.